So I was just gonna go over why I chose E-Trade for my brokerage account for stock trading. It's definitely not because of their user interface. It looks like it was made in 1992. Um, this is Brian Lewis with MMT Investing, and things just changed. So, coming into this financial crisis situation, I think there's risk with a lot of brokerages, and I'm kind of scared to move my money over there to trade. So I just started researching the companies and looking up the balance sheets and reading news about the companies. So, I mean, I've seen Robinhood's already had some problems so far with people saying they've had their options like exercise and they had blackouts and stuff like that. So that's scary. And there's, like Weeble and Acorns and like those ones all of those are so new. I think they're just risky because they're new and some of them are already having problems. So I went and looked up the balance sheets of the bigger ones just to see what they looked like. And TD Ameritrade and Charles Schwab, two of the biggest ones, combined. Charles Schwab bought TD Ameritrade, and now that's a combined company with two separate platforms. It's like a big corporate mess with not a very good balance sheet. So those two platforms didn't look like a great option. I think there's risk there. Um, I have the Morgan Stanley chart here. So I looked up E-Trade, and E-Trade has a positive balance sheet, and they also just got acquired by Morgan Stanley. So if you go to Wikipedia and you look up the list of systemically important banks, these are like the primary dealer banks underneath the Fed. So Morgan Stanley is one of these primary banks, and it's also pretty well known to be one of the safest, the least risky of the primary banks with their investments, whereas like Goldman Sachs is known to be the most risky with their investments of the primary banks. So that you'll see like Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Goldman Sachs, all the banks that Warren Buffett owns are all those primary banks. And you can see here's the crash, and the banks. I mean, the banks get hit just like the other stocks. So they're risky. Uh, so I mean, you have your money in those bank accounts connected to your brokerage. Like that's where you have your cash in between trades. It's either there or it's in a worse place than that if it's just like in a brokerage account that's just like the FSP, what is it, SPIC or something? The brokerage protection insurance is even a little scarier than like the FDIC insurance if you have like a sweep account that goes into a bank account when you're not trading. Um, so anyways, uh, yeah, E-Trades apparently has a lot of not options like options trading. They have a lot of features for advanced traders, and I don't know because I don't do any of that stuff. I just do options and stocks. So, I mean, maybe that's good, uh, but that's what I was thinking. I mean, I read a ton of reviews, and most all of them have pretty good reviews as far as just using the platforms. But I just wanted to kind of research the risk of these different brokerage platforms and see, uh, how they're storing your money. Some of them store it in bank accounts, and you got to look up the banks that they're going to be storing your cash in when you're in between trades. And some of them store it in just a brokerage account that's much more risky than the bank account. So these are considerations I think that are important to look at when you're picking where to put a huge chunk of your of your money. Um, yeah, so anyways, I chose E-Trade, and so far so good. We'll see when we get a little deeper into this crisis if any of these brokerages get in trouble or black out or something. I would not be surprised to see that happen to a couple of them. This this was Brian. I don't even know what I'm doing. Please click the like button for the YouTube algorithm. And this was not financial advice, so don't listen to me. It's just an idea. Look it up yourself. And happy trading.